I'm Melanie Barr. Welcome back to the She Built It podcast, your go-to place to empower you to live the life and business that you crave. I'm here to talk about everything from having the courage to make life and career leaps to the details of how to lead effectively, create successful teams, implement strategies for growth, and infuse tech innovation. I'm here to celebrate your wins and navigate through your challenges. I live in the city now, but I grew up in a town of 1,000 people. I've navigated major life leaps, a senior level corporate career, worked in professional sports, and now as a successful entrepreneur who loves business, technology, family, and making meaningful connections with you and the She Built It community. I also love a good workout and dose of self-care. Magic happens when we focus on the part of ourselves and our business that brings us joy. So turn up the audio, open your favorite notes app, grab your favorite drink, and here we go. Happy holidays. I'm Melanie Barr, and welcome back to the She Built It podcast. I want to take a moment to thank you for joining us each week this year. It has been such an incredible journey, and I am so grateful to have you here. As we close out the year, I'd love your help in reaching even more amazing listeners. If you've been inspired by our episodes, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It means the world and helps the She Built It community grow. Today, we're diving into a topic I am asked about all the time. How do you start a podcast? But instead of just listing tips, we're going to explore what it really takes to launch a podcast that reflects who you are and resonates deeply with your audience. I'm going to break it down into 3 parts: finding your voice, crafting your story, and connecting with your audience. Before you hit record or plan your first episode, ask yourself one question. What do I want my podcast to say? Your voice is what will make your podcast stand out. It's not just about how you sound. It's about the perspective that you bring. Whether you're sharing expert advice, telling personal stories, or diving into niche topics, your voice is the unique lens through which your audience experiences your content. Take a moment to think about what you want to talk about every day. Is it solving problems, sharing behind-the-scenes insights, amplifying stories that don't get told enough? Your passion is the foundation of your podcast, and when you align your voice with that passion, your authenticity will shine through. I received the best advice when starting the She Built It podcast. Someone told me, you have a lot of interest. You're going to have a lot of interest, but what do you want to wake up and talk about every day? What conversations do you want to have with people every day? And it was the best advice that I could get, because I am obsessed with having the conversations with guests around the world and sharing them with you each week. Don't worry about being perfect. Podcasts are about connection, not perfection. Your audience, when creating a podcast, wants to hear the real you, your quirks, your laughter, and yes, even the occasional stumbles. Embrace your unique voice and you'll create something truly memorable. Once you've found your voice, the next step is to craft your story. Every great podcast has a narrative, a reason why it exists and promotes to its listeners. What story are you telling, and why should people tune in? Start with your why. Why do you care about the topic? Why is it important to share it now? Your why becomes the heartbeat of your podcast, guiding your episodes and keeping your content focused. I was recently reflecting on my why. I used to work in Major League Baseball for the Los Angeles Dodgers. And while I enjoyed working with men and all people, I was missing being around like-minded women. And I struggled at the time to find a female mentor within sports. This is my why and why I became passionate about amplifying women's voices, their brands, and their businesses. Your story doesn't have to be complicated, but it does need to be clear. When your listeners know what your podcast stands for and what they'll gain by tuning in, they'll feel connected and keep coming back for more. The final piece of the puzzle is creating a connection with your audience. Your podcast is more than just a platform. It's a bridge that brings people together into your world. Connection starts with understanding. Who are your listeners? What are they passionate about? What do they need? The more you know about your audience, the better you can create episodes that speak directly to them. But connection doesn't stop at the microphone. It extends to how you engage with your audience outside of your episodes. If you're responding to comments and reviews, are you sharing bonus content or behind the scenes moments on social media? Are you inviting your listeners to be part of the conversation? Remember, Podcasting isn't a one-way street. It's a relationship. And when you invest in that relationship, your audience will not only listen, but also share, recommend, and champion your podcast. It is my favorite thing to do to amplify the brands and businesses of the guests on the She Built It podcast. I love to learn from them and share the knowledge that they've gained and the incredible businesses and products that they are building. As we wrap up, I want to thank you once again for being a part of the She Built It podcast community this year. You've made this journey so special, and I can't wait to bring you even more knowledge and inspiring conversations in the year ahead. If you're ready to start your podcast, you don't have to do it alone. At She Built It Media, we specialize in helping entrepreneurs and business leaders create professional, impactful podcasts that amplify their voice and build their brands. Visit shebuiltit.com to learn more. Until next time, happy holidays, stay safe, and keep building what you love. Thank you for joining us today. I'd love to hear from you. Reach out to me at hello@shebuiltit.com, on our She Built It website, or at She Built It on social. Thank you to my editor, Rich Streffolino, who always makes us sound good. Until next time, let nothing stop you from experiencing the life and business that you crave.